I'm Eshaan, reporting for Kids First. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with three incredible individuals from the PBS SoCal and KCET team about their recently announced rebrand. Hiawatha Bradley, Stacey Schaefer, and Bijan Rezvani. Hiawatha Bradley serves as the Senior Director of Brand and Creative Services. Stacey Schaefer is the Director of Marketing Operations and Business Intelligence. And Bijan Rezvani is the Director of Digital, leading the company's operations across online platforms. Wow, this is awesome. I'm so excited to speak with you all. And I'm particularly interested in how this PBS organization based in South California is taking on the challenge of competing in the streaming marketplace, which is something that we've seen that's been on the rise as of late. So starting off, Hiawatha, tell me more about your recent rebrand. So how will this redesign grow the engagement with your viewers?
Yeah, absolutely. And thanks for having me, Eshaan. So we're super excited about this rebrand. It's been a long time coming. We've spent the last year sort of focused on this. And I mean, just to get straight to your first question, I think the most immediate thing that you'll notice with this rebrand is that it looks engaging. So just right off the bat, what you're going to see is a much cleaner, more modern, more accessible sort of brand language that we're very optimistic about how that's going to land in the Southern California market. There's also a brand language around the typefaces. They're much cleaner. They're more open. They're more optimized for digital use. So what we're starting to see is a package that is not only going to perform well on air, we believe, but also is going to be optimized to really sort of connect online and in the digital space. And that's really a part of why we did this is that, first to engage people, you really have to know where they're gathering, and that more and more is in the digital space. So it was from day one of the main places of focus for us to really not be just sort of branding for the television channel, but really to look at all of the brand touch points, which is a lot right now. There's so many platforms, there's so many places where our audiences gather, and to have a system and sort of a graphic language that was simple, clean, and concise in various sort of outputs for wherever the brand goes.
That's great. Yeah, I can tell there's a lot of thought put into this. So, Stacey, what motivated this change? Tell me a little bit more about that. And also, how will the viewers' experience be impacted? I mean, I know there's still going to be linear broadcasts and everyone can pretty much watch it, all incomes and also kids. And it's also commercial free. But besides that, is there anything else additionally that might change?
Yeah, great question. As viewing trends have changed, we start to see audiences move to a more of a streaming world. And for that reason, our strategy has changed. And so we want to make sure that as we evolve our brand and how we're accessible to everyone, making sure that we transform our business for a digital world was top of mind. And so our new branding effort is really revolving around that to make sure that everything that we're doing is serving our audiences both regionally and nationally through streaming apps and social media and education and virtual events. And what the users will see on their end is really more of a streamlined and intuitive and easy and user-friendly experience that is not unpleasant to look at thanks to the efforts that Hiawatha and his team have been putting together. And so overall, viewers will be able to enjoy their favorite PBS programs on any platform in a really user and friendly way.
That's amazing. Yeah, so you just referred to Bijan. So Bijan, now to you. So how can we tell that there is a fundamental shift to streaming in the entertainment landscape?
Sure. So, I mean, our own metrics tell us where our users are streaming. So right now, about a third of our users are streaming. But, you mentioned a fundamental shift. And I think we know that fundamentally just from the conversations and the culture around us, clearly there is that shift. So we know it generally, we know it from the metrics that we look at that more and more users are streaming.
That's interesting. I mean, I feel like even wherever I go, I hear more about Netflix and Disney Plus than even about other cable TV networks.
Yeah.
So do you think that there's given this shift that we've seen, is there a place in the world for non-streaming programs and, just linear broadcasts?
So linear, definitely we're not seeing that linear is going away, and linear, of course, is moving to digital and streaming platforms. Now, and you know, as you may know, we're ourselves moving to we have content on those platforms, whether it's YouTube TV or on our website, our kids channel available in the PBS Kids app, our channel available in the PBS app. So linear continues. Now, non-streaming is a little more interesting, I think, because as people rely more on streaming for their linear channels, not providing streaming for your program, I think, becomes a bit more of a problem point. So I think there's something interesting there where the expectation is that your program should be available for streaming, whether that's on demand or linear.
Right, right, definitely. So, Stacy, how does PBS SoCal and also KCET, how do they plan to keep up with and also compare to Netflix, Disney Plus, and other streaming services?
Another great question. Well, the content that we have available across our platforms and the PBS app, we're making sure that everything, just like our competitors, are available anytime, anywhere. So you can stream the best of PBS programming, the titles you're familiar with, from Masterpiece to Antiques Roadshow to Nova. It's all on the PBS app, available on multiple devices, whatever your preference is, it's there. In addition to our PBS programming, we also have local programming and kids programming. And so that's what makes public media really unique in relation to our competitors, is that we have free quality programming that's commercial free, that not only has the national titles that you love, but the local programming that our viewers tend to drop to.
Absolutely, yeah. And so going along the same path, actually, you mentioned the app, the PBS SoCal app. So tell me more about how this rebrand impacts the way that the PBS SoCal app will be promoted.
Well, we wanted to make sure that our new logo fits nicely on the PBS app and alongside all the digital platforms. And so one of the top priorities from a marketing perspective is to bring awareness that the app exists, to let people know that there's tons of content that can be unlocked and for free through the PBS app. And so most of the promotion that we're doing is to engage our audiences around the app, and hoping that they'll feel so freely as to download the app and explore. And with that, we're doing a lot of digital advertising across various platforms, from Google advertising to Roku ads to Amazon, and everything in between, across our own media as well, broadcast, social media, and email. So really getting the word out there that there's lots to explore.
That sounds amazing. I'm super excited. So, Bijan, back to you. So, how has PBS SoCal optimized streaming on its website again for being competitive in the market?
Yeah, I think we've made it easier to find programs that you're interested in, and also we have better ways of introducing people to additional programs that they might be interested in. Also, this new system has capabilities around personalization and segmentation that we're just starting to use with the relaunch, that we'll be developing further, which will basically give people better recommendations. So those are some of the main ways.
That's great. That sounds awesome. I definitely think the recommended function is a big thing, right? In
Yeah.
streaming, you log on to a streaming service and you're like, what do I watch? Tell me, service, tell me. I think that's really great. Something to definitely pay attention to. And just to sort of wrap up, Hiawatha, what are you most proud of looking back at the rebranding efforts?
Yeah, so I'm very proud of the scope. This wasn't just one channel that we rebranded. This was two channels simultaneously in a very well-watched media market. So there was a lot of complications, Isham. I mean, I always feel that every single successful branding project is a minor miracle, because so much planning, so much strategy, so many decisions have to happen to get to the other side where it just looks effortless and beautiful and amazing. But when you look behind the curtain, it was an incredible process across so many different platforms. And I think the second thing is that it's really about for the public good, right? We're not a commercial station. We are definitely focused on the community. And when you look at sort of our launch campaign called You Happen Here, you really see sort of the values. We live the values that it's not just a marketing campaign, it's the core of who we are. And I think we've really sort of brought that out to the surface in an exciting way. And we're just really happy to see how the community reacts.
That sounds amazing. I feel like I've done this like tons of times, but it really does sound amazing. I definitely like it when I think brands, when they pull something out from within themselves, when they really get to the core of what makes them who they are, that really results in something amazing. So tell me more about the pros and cons of the shift that you've made in terms of the entire rebrand, actually, Hiawatha.
I would say the pros are greatly outweighing the cons. I think there's always a risk. At least on the KCT side, it'd been since the '90s since we've seen a rebrand. There's a lot of equity of these public media stations, and so change can sometimes be hard. But at the end of the day, I think what we're seeing, media is moving very quickly right now. This is a very saturated market. And the pros are that you're suddenly bringing sort of this new narrative to public television in Southern California when these two channels are coming together, and we're getting to tell that story in a bigger way. We have more assets, more energy, more technology, more ideas. So I think it's really all about more right now, in the pros, and we're really excited to see where it goes.
That sounds awesome. I'm super excited. This is such a cool shift, such an exciting shift in terms of PBS's sort of rebranding, right? All right. Thank you so much for speaking with me, Hiawatha, Bijan, and Stacy. And all of you viewers, look for KCET and PBS SoCal's rebranding with newly redesigned on-air looks, websites, and optimized streaming options at kcet.org and pbssocal.org. This is Eshaan reporting for Kids First, signing off. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss my next interview or those of my awesome Kids First teammates. Bye!